What's good, party people? This is your friendly neighbor, Maverick to Chadwick here, with another video. So I'm continuing the Venus series today. Thank y'all for showing up. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Send to your friends, send to your lover, send to your sister, brother, family member. I don't know. Send it to yourself. Anyway, this is Venus in the 7th house right now, right? So for the archetype that I put down for Venus in the 7th house, it's the archetype of balanced love. So Venus in the 7th house is actually in one of its most natural placements because Venus rules the 7th house, or 7th house rules Venus, whichever way you want to look at it. But the thing about it is that people that have Venus in the 7th house, they have a natural and deep understanding for all forms of like relationship structure. So not just the idea of like having a partner, they're also the people that know how business partnerships work. They understand how the idea of sharing oneself with another and meeting halfway. That's pretty much the ideal that Venus in the 7th house is able to carry. And this happens all the time. And it's one of those things that is so natural to them, they don't even notice that they do it. But anybody else that meets them, they're like, wow, you're so charming, or like, wow, you really know how to like understand me, or wow, we really know how to work well together. And the Venus in the 7th house is just like, yeah. Like it doesn't mean like it's like they're so good at it. It doesn't mean not anything, but it doesn't mean much to them because it's just something that they would naturally do. It's just what they want to. It's how their heart is expressive. Their heart wants to connect. Their heart wants to go half and half. Their heart wants to find a balance within every person that they really care for. And another thing with the Venus in the 7th house, they know exactly what to say to make you smile. I have Venus in the 7th house in Placidus. Let me stop. But they know how to make you actually smile because they're like this really keen and like psychic type of awareness because Venus is at its like highest point, or one of its highest points in Libra. They have a certain zeal for justice. These are the people that'll if something is wrong that happens to someone that they're close to, someone they love, even if they're not close to them. Let's say that someone that they love has someone that got into trouble or into a situation that was unfair to them or unjust, or they just knew of something that happened and it was affecting that person that they love. They'll go out of their way to try and at least see what they can do to bring them justice, to bring them a new sense of truth, to bring a new form of reality to a situation in order to like assist them. They're definitely those type of people. They also have a zeal for like, besides their zeal for justice, they have a big thing for fashion. People with Venus in the 7th house are generally very fashionable, or they at least have their own sense of style. If they don't have their own sense of style, they're at least the most updated on any trends, and they're a little ahead. Not as much as maybe like a Venus in Aquarius, but they're definitely able to like sense what's the next thing. These are the people that transition their like summer clothes to their fall clothes seamlessly. You know, at least if you live in like the East Coast or where it's cold, you know what I'm saying? Like they just know how to like seamlessly slide and move with those seasons because they have this sense of like beauty and this sense of fashion that they just generally uphold because this is how they are. So the last thing that I really want to get to before I break down the decans for Venus in the 7th is that they have a need to like balance opinions, especially when it comes to love matters. So if someone has a certain opinion on something, these are the people that want to, I'd say, not debate them. No, they want to debate. They want to debate just the general idea of like the other side. So it's like if you're just looking at one thing one way, they want to be able to be like, well, what about the other side of this? And this isn't to directly cause conflict like maybe like a Aries type energy would. This is more so to like have you understand that there's more than one opinion and that there's more than one option to a scenario or a situation. A big thing, like for example, is like if you're someone that goes to an extreme of something, a Venus in Libra will be like, but what about the other side of this, right? So, for example, let's say someone was a healthy eater, someone was vegan, someone was like, along the lines of that, and they're like, everyone should be. A Venus in Libra would be the person who's like, okay, if everyone should be, what about the people that actually can't afford those type of food, like can't afford healthy food? What about those people that live in like poor income neighborhoods? What about those people that do this? And they're not doing that to directly attack or like directly try to fight your opinion or fight your belief, but what they want to do is like have you and them have you find like a balance to understand that like not everything can just strictly be black and white. Everything does have this like in between neutral area that can be traversed through. And that's what Venus in the 7th house really, and Libra, I didn't mention this Libra a lot, but same thing in this case. But this is the type of energy that they bring to the table. Very Apollo-like in nature, very Venusian in nature. They bring light to situations, and they're generally very genuine people, especially when it comes to like one-on-one scenarios. So what I'm going to do now is break down the decans for Venus in the 7th. So the first decan that we have is 0 to 9 degrees, which is ruled by Venus itself. So what I call this is attentive love, right? So people that have 0 to 9 degrees, Venus in the 7th house or Libra, are very attentive lovers. They know all the details of you almost instantly. Like you can tell them something that you don't think has anything to really do with you, but they'll learn so much off of you from just that scenario. Let's say you're like, oh, I really like kayaking, right? Let's say you just like kayaking. This person will somehow know that you like kayaking because you like the sun on your face a certain way. They know that you like kayaking because you get to move and you're like in rhythm with the water. So they'll know that you really like water, but they may know that you don't like beach water. You just like lake water. Like a Venus in Libra and the Venus in 7th house will pick up on that instantaneously. It's ridiculous. Like they'll just know. And then the next time, or then they'll start to like bring you into scenarios and situations where you're able to experience that same type of euphoria, where you're able to really harness and go into similar scenarios and situations. They want to harbor and they want to bring this sense of joy to you whenever, any chance that they can. So they'll pay attention to those type of things and bring it to you. That's why I call it the attentive lover from 0 to 9 degrees Venus. From 10 to 19 degrees Venus in the 7th / Libra, you have the Uranus decan. And the Uranus decan I put down as like the archetype of like the house party lover. Now, it sounds funny saying house party lover, but follow me when I say this, right? These are the type of people that are super social. They know how to speak to a crowd. They know how to speak and be social within a setting, and they'll almost seemingly not move the whole entire night, but somehow speak to everyone important. They have this really like keen sense of figuring out who's important in a room, how to speak to them, and then how to help them have a better time, because they're the ones that like link people in between and then bring them in. You know what I mean? Like they know how to like, they'll see Susie over there that really likes, I don't know, vodka or something, and then they'll see Brad over there who has like vodka. And he'll somehow like, or he or she, depending on who, will somehow bring them both together so then they can get off. And then on top of that, those two people will somehow or another end up actually like in a relation or end up in a situation where they're like super close after, because like there's just this super keen sense of like, it's Venus it's Venus trying to like play hitch. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know what I mean? It's like that's exactly what I feel like when it comes to the 10 to 19 degrees with the Uranus decan. So they're able to like move through the house party. But then if let's say that you're with them, they will still have time with you the whole half of the night, or you'll be right by their side. Like they know how to move with you there, and that's something that's kind of rare. So I know because I said the same thing with Cat, but like these two energies are very potent when it comes to like that type of interaction and social gatherings and functions and etc. So yeah, that's the 10 to 19 degrees, 7th house, Libra, Uranus decan. So the last decan of Libra in this case is going to be the 20 to 29 degrees, which is ruled by Mercury. So the 20 to 29 degrees Libra in the 7th house is the love of intellect. These are your super genius Venus and Libras. And they're genius in a sense because they don't try to do anything, but they'll draw you in like they've done everything in their power to get your attention. But the reason why people are drawn to these people so much is because they hold a certain amount of intellect. And with this being in Venus, they hold this intellect when it comes to love, when it comes to relations, when it comes to like connecting with other people. So because they hold such a powerful sense of like intellect, people are drawn to trying to figure them out. And it's always like people will try to figure them out, people will try to puzzle them, people will try to like, they'll project these ideas of like greatness and charm onto them, and they could really not be doing anything at all. This is just the type of energy that they like naturally have. Like they have connected with so many people subconsciously that when it comes to connecting with someone that they really care for, instant. Like these are the people that you'll like fall for in 2 seconds and be like, huh? What? You know, so that's what I want to say for that. It's like they have like this intellectual form of love when how they speak and how they carry themselves and what they think that just draw people into them. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for the Venus in the 7th house, you charming people. Anyway, but if you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter. That's where I put most of my Astro stuff. But yeah, so yeah, everything should be down in the description. Besides that, I run readings and stuff. I'm going to be reformatting my readings so I can like get them more accessible and such for people. But that's beside the point. You're neither here nor there. But hope you enjoy them. This is your friendly neighbor, Chad the Maverick, signing off. See you next time. Peace.